Welcome to the Taylor Made Tasty podcast. I'm Taylor, retired serial quitter turned goal boss coach, speaker, and consultant. I believe a beautiful life starts with a beautiful mindset. Join me as we amplify confidence, resilience, and actionable tools on the road to quit quitting on you and your vision. You are worthy of your goals, so let's go get there. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Taylor Made Tasty, the podcast. Today features my first ever episode with a client, Miss Leah. I am so excited for you to hear a first-hand account of how Taylor Made Tasty coaching has impacted her life by working on her mindset, her goals, and her big scary vision over the past 2 years. She has made massive momentum in her life, and today she shares how coaching has helped guide her to this incredible version. A little bit about our guest. Leah took a chance 10 years ago and left her comfortable role as an event planner for a nonprofit in healthcare to join the cutthroat corporate world. This is the opposite of what so many people choose for their career path after having kids, and Leah was warned that as a single mom of a first grader at the time, this career move could lead her to not only missing out on time with her son, but also be at risk for burnout due to taking a position that requires traveling frequently. It has not always been a smooth journey personally or professionally, but Leah has found the happiness along the way. Leah's goal is to inspire people like you to live their healthiest and loveliest lives. Leah balances her role as the director of global events for Fortune 100 clients, leading a team of event professionals. She is a single mom to a now 16-year-old son and is finding ways to incorporate health and mindfulness into her everyday. Leah has been a member of Team Quit Quitting for almost 2 years. Since it was first announced in 2020, she has joined the vision board parties and done private coaching one-on-one through the summer. Leah has crushed many of her personal and professional goals while gaining an even clearer sense of self and purpose during the process. A true ally and advocate for her family, friends, colleagues, clients, and fellow Team Quit Quitting members, Leah's positivity and genuine care shines brightly. While completing her September Team Quit Quitting workbook, Leah noticed one of her 2022 goals was to be a guest on a podcast. Leah reached out to me, inquiring if she could be a guest, and here she is. Please help me welcome Leah to the show, and let's get into it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you believe it's time for the annual Vision Board Party? It's back, Saturday, December 3rd. This Vision Board Party offers an empowering and imaginative goal-setting session where participants will learn the fundamentals of creating a vision board, but more importantly, break down big goals into attainable milestones for the coming year. The first part of the workshop consists of guided meditation, reflection, and journaling designed to open up the mind before we jump into action. The second half is dedicated to building the vision, where participants will transfer their goals into milestones with deadlines and ultimately into a graphic representation of their big dreams. You can find more information at taylormadetasty.com/vision board. And for all my podcast listeners, use code PODCAST for 10% off any package. Let's go get there in 2023. 3, 2, 1. Hi, Leah. Welcome to the podcast.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. This is my first ever time having a client on the podcast, so I'm very excited to have you here. And thrilled for this conversation today because I think a lot of women seek guidance but are so unsure of what exactly they need or how committed they will be. So they feel as though they need to do it all and do it all alone or all at one time. And I would love for you to share how your life was before starting working together and what struck you to start working with me.
Absolutely. So I have never worked with another coach before. It was something I wasn't even all that familiar with. I had heard about life coaches and that kind of thing, but I always thought it wasn't really for me. And so I first learned about your Instagram account called TaylorMade Tasty. And I started following you back in 2020. And that year I was about to celebrate a big birthday that spring, but no one could have predicted what happened. And we had the global pandemic. And so the spring and summer of 2020, I didn't really get to see my real life friends or my coworkers. And so I turned to Instagram, and that just felt normal for me. And I started following you. I found you around that time, and your posts were so honest, so relatable. And I think the big thing for me was surrounding that summer and Black Lives Matter and the uprising. You did not shy away from the topic. And you called out privilege in a way that not a lot of other people who I was seeing on Instagram were able to do. And just because of that, that really struck me. And so I started paying a little closer attention. I was like, okay, well, I'm following this person. Let me see what else she has to offer. And so you offered group coaching, and I thought, oh my gosh, this would be perfect. And so I put in an application, but unfortunately I was not accepted because I think you had
Oh
like
no.
100 or 1,000, or it was the summer of 2020. It's I did not let that stop me, though. I was very determined, and I kind of let that guide me, and I found you on YouTube. And so you had some 10 with Taylor videos and some videos with your husband, the lumbersexual. I just love
Hmm.
that. I love a
Yes.
bearded guy. And so just I think a combination of your perspective and your resilience during just such a tough year, it really clicked for me. And I found that I was suffering from imposter syndrome. And I work in hospitality as an event planner. And so, as you know, hospitality, well, I mean, all industries were hit really, really hard, but especially hospitality. So many people were getting laid off. And so I did actually seek some professional help in a few areas of my life, but I was still missing that connection, that support with people. And so when you offered Team Quit Quitting, I was like, oh, this is a no-brainer. I signed right up. I was like, oh, I don't have to fill an application for this one, really. I can just be in it. Yes. And so I still have the story saved on my little Instagram stories where you rang the bell and you celebrated that I joined the group. And I just knew it was the start of something amazing.
I love it. I'm gonna ring that bell right now.
Yes.
That's so funny that you bring that up. I actually got a new bell recently that I haven't released yet. The new bell release will be coming soon. Um, which you will be the first ring of that bell, by the way, just so you know.
Yay.
Uh, so new bell coming soon. But that's so crazy. So that was June is the new January. That you're
Yes.
coaching.
Maybe. I don't even remember.
I think that you oh my gosh, I am so embarrassed that you were like, I applied. I'm so sorry. It was a crazy time. But I'm glad this is like such a testament to you aligning with like my messaging and how you connected with what I was saying. And truly through that time, I really wanted, like I say, I hold up a mirror to your potential and your resilience because it's like I wanted you to see that in you as we were going, like we're all navigating this something that's brand new to us, and it's sort of like this baseline. We were all at the same level, like no one had been through this before and knew like, oh, I'm an expert at this, I know what to do. Maybe if we ever I hopefully never again, but if we
Hopefully
were to
not.
ever to be in, lockdown again, it's like, okay, I might have, some data to know what I should be spending my time with or how it's going to work or whatever, but we had never been in that position before. So for you to be like looking outside of yourself for community and connection and like guidance is such a testament to like where you are right now too. And you've taken advantage of many offerings in my coaching, from the monthly membership to one-on-one coaching to the vision board parties. And the one you have been a part of the longest, like you were saying, is Team Quit Quitting, which is a monthly membership. And what keeps you, I want to know what keeps you coming back, and like, what do you get out of the monthly membership?
Absolutely. So, what keeps me coming back is honestly, I don't want to quit. There's this quote that goes, if you could have done it on your own, you already would have. And I kind of hate that quote though, because I am very independent. And I've learned though through this membership that it's allowing myself to open up more to others. And there's a really big world out there. And I'm learning the tools as part of the membership, not only how to navigate it externally, but internally as well. I don't think I've ever done that kind of self growth, self work ever
Mm-hmm.
before. And so the biggest things I've gained are both the confidence and the ability to set goals, but also it's breaking down the steps and that reaching pretty much any goal I want, it seems very attainable. And so, regarding the membership, I feel such a close bond to the other ladies in the group. I just love the opportunity to have made friends from all over the United States. And it's just such an honor to watch them crush their goals as well. And another thing I really like about Team Quit Quitting is the optional book club. And so I've never been in a book club before, but the books that are recommended are so good. And it's just fun to catch up with people and just talk about takeaways.
Yes, yes. You know the moment that I was like, okay, this was the right decision. This needed to happen is when I was finding out that there was like these subgroups of the main group of the Team Quit Quitting monthly membership that were, you guys were chatting beyond the just the normal times that we're live twice a month or beyond the Facebook group. And it's like, that is when I'm like, okay, this is the community. Like they're all resonating with each other. They're all building relationships outside of just the group. And that was like such a beautiful moment of, yep, Taylor, this was the right decision. This is what needed to be created. So I love that.
Yes, thank you for bringing us all together.
Yes. So there are many titles out there, and I have even given myself many titles over the years of my business. And I know that you have seen that and paid attention to that. And out of all the possible life or mindset coaches out in the world, what made you resonate with me?
I would say so many things. I love how real you are with sharing not only the good parts of your life, because you do some pretty epic stuff, but also the struggles as well. And you've truly done the work. You've read the books, you've gone to the self help conferences, you've really invested in learning more. And I just respect all the knowledge that you bring. And you're just so relatable at the same time. And during our one on one coaching, I always feel like I can bring you anything. So it could be a question like, oh, I'm struggling with where to eat, or, what to do when I'm on the road. How do I navigate this? Or it could be a family issue, more of kind of like a counseling sense. Or the summer I went to LA and you gave me so many great ideas for the area I was staying in. I just feel like you go above and beyond to provide insightful, honest, and truly incredible suggestions as well as advice.
Thank you. That is so sweet. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
you're welcome.
I accept all of those words. Oh, those beautiful words. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I think that, as you know, I coach a lot about taking action. And I have a saying that I say often that you resonate with, which is action cures everything. And because of that, I'm like, what are some of the biggest actions that you have taken in your life since being a coaching client?
Sure. So I do have that March 2021 coaching workbook printout that says Action Cures Everything. I have that on the wall in front of my computer at my home office, as well as my office that we have all returned to back at work. And it's that simple. It's taking an action, really any action, and it creates momentum and it gets things going. And I have a lot of goals that I want to accomplish, but a really cool thing is I'm not scared of them. And since I've been a coaching client, I have absolutely soared at work. I have gotten 2 promotions in 2 years. So that means during the pandemic of all times. And it was while working remotely. And I've learned that you just can't sit around and like wait for someone else to take action on your life. It's really up to me. And as a result of this and these promotions, I have a nice sized team under me now. And I have found that I love being a leader and managing people. And I always had thought that is not for me. Like, I am just a worker, I'm just here to do my job. But I have found that I adore helping others and help them reaching their professional goals. And I've learned so much about leadership from your coaching, and just the whole thing is just really fulfilling for me.
I love that. That's like the ripple effect of you
Yeah.
learning something, it resonating with you, and then you giving that as a mindset gift or a growth gift and fostering like the people under you to hit their goals too. That's so beautiful. Love
Thanks.
it. So as I mentioned, you've been a part of the vision board party a couple of times now, and you've been intentional about planning your vision for the year. You, like you just mentioned, you hit a lot of goals already, and I know we still have a good amount of the year left, but you've hit a lot of goals, and so. Can you describe your experience about the vision board party and then maybe some other accomplishments beyond what you've talked about already that you've seen from being part of the vision board party?
Yes. So, oh my goodness, the vision board parties have changed my life. So, I had this goal, it was surrounding my big birthday during the pandemic, that in 2021 I was going to hit my weight loss goal. And I actually ended up, over those 2 years kind of the pandemic, I lost 60 pounds. And so that was following the December 2020 party. And then for the December 2021 party, I had some more career goals, and I got a huge promotion with a 45% pay increase in literally less than a month after the 2021 party. And I don't think I would have been able to set or reach those goals without your coaching on the milestones and how to take the next steps. And I feel like these parties allow me to take a step back, which really means get out of my own way, and have a different view of my goals than what I've had on my own. And I read my vision board goal worksheets every single month. And it's so incredible because sometimes I think, oh, I'm slacking on this or I'm forgetting about the goals, but I'm still hitting it. And I've heard other people in our Team Quit Quitting group say the same thing, that I think we've just kind of put this momentum into place and we're just crushing it.
Yes, I love hearing that. And it does, you bring up a very good point is that like sometimes we set these goals and then we forget about them. But the fact that you're like checking in with them every month is so crucial. But also, there's just like magic in setting the goal and writing it down and breaking it down. And it's like it filters in, now you know what the plan is. So whether or not it's intentional in your implementation, it can still happen because like, okay, this is the big vision. And I like to have a graphic representation of that, whether that's a vision board, something you did this year, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have a screen on your phone, right?
I do. So I use the Canva app, and but I made this on my computer. And yeah, I had kind of my main visual goals. And so it's my home screen and my lock screen on my phone. So I'm looking at them every day.
Yes. Okay. I love that. That's very cool. So in the beginning of the episode, we heard about how your life was prior to coaching. And so, if there are some women who are afraid or unsure of getting a coach or just like not sure what to expect, like what would you say to them?
I say, do it. Invest in yourself. You're worth it. For me, like I said, I had never had a coach before, so I wasn't sure about the investment up front. But oh my goodness, the cost is just such a small drop in the bucket compared to the huge outcome. And I feel like you're stuck with yourself for the remainder of your life, so you might as well work with a professional that will help you be your best and live your best life. And thinking back to 2020 when I signed up, my goals were all surrounding weight loss. And I had this idea that, oh, if I lose weight, all my goals, all my dreams are going to come true. But spoiler alert, although, yes, I did use the tailor made tasty coaching to help me reach my weight loss goals. That things aren't magically better. And that goal of mine is actually not even what I'm most proud of. I'm proud of the woman I've become over the past 2 years, and the amazing boss and friend, and the person people call me when they need advice, or the calm one when things get crazy. And that's not something you can measure on the scale or size of pants or anything like that. It's really that internal work, and it's just impossible to do only on your own.
Yes. That's so good and so true. And I think too, you brought up a good point here in saying that like it is scary to invest. And it's scary to invest for two reasons, because you're like unsure of what you're actually going to get out of it, but also as someone who has been a quitter in the past, or if you resonate with the serial quitter in the past, it's like, well, I know how many times I did sign up for XYZ thing and I didn't do it, right? So like there's the what do I expect from the coach side as a client, but also the expectations of you making the investment in yourself. Like, am I actually going to do the work? Am I going to show up? Am I going to be a part of it? Am I going to feel comfortable to talk? All of those things that come into play. And it's like, you just have to lean in, you just have to show up. And honestly, if you show up and you, like, again, you are a great example of this. If you show up consistently, you will see things happen. It will happen for you. And I want to, so you mentioned in your vision board party that you got a 45% bump because you got a promotion, and you talked about not saying the number, but you wrote a number on your vision board and that exact number came up as your promotion number. Yes?
Yes. So let me tell you more about that. So, what happened was, the we'll just say a position came open within my department that needed to be filled, and I knew I had a meeting with my boss, and so I woke up at 4 a.m. on the day of that meeting. It was really just to kind of discuss the division of the task that the other person used to do. But that morning, it just struck me. I'm like, no, I'm going to create a position that incorporates what I do well, and I'm going to give myself that director title. I'm going to give myself, this is the exact salary number I want. This is everything I want. I wrote down every single thing. And so when I went into that meeting, I think the person I was meeting with was prepared to, okay, what are we going to do? And I solved every bit of it, and I just presented it, and I'm like, here you go. And he was like, well, thank you very much. I'm going to go take this to the CEO. And it was just that easy. And I think without thinking it through, probably in any other situation, I would have been more hesitant or kind of waiting for someone else to take the lead. But this, I had the confidence, and I just threw a number out there. And I honestly am still surprised that they went for it. And then, you're always wondering, well, man, I should have maybe asked for more. So that's where we are now.
That's amazing. Yes. And like you're talking about, doing the work has created you to have the self worth, the self esteem, and all of that for advocating for yourself in different positions that have nothing to do with wellness or weight loss or anything like that, right? It's about like you owning that you belong in this position, and this is your value in a financial form, and you went for it and you got it. And you put that number on your vision board like prior to this whole thing happening, and there was a domino effect of other things that came into play that opened this position for you, and so that is so awesome to see in practice. Now, I've had some bad business coaches. I did actually, the one that I invested the most into, um a pretty high four-figure investment, that I had such a bad experience, and it can be hard to know who will make the greatest impact. So I would love for you, from your perspective as a client, like to help listeners for what to look for or what to maybe stay away from when they are looking for a coach from your experience.
I'll say for me, because you're the first coach I've worked with, my advice is really to find a coach who you resonate with, someone who you look up to, who you respect, And these days, it is so easy to find someone's social media and see not only what services they're selling, but how they interact with those who they coach. And I was looking for, as this coach, are they proudly bragging on their clients' victories, or do they keep the successes to themselves, or even are there any successes? And also, I know that some coaches are like crazy, ridiculously expensive. And I think that's okay. And I think that hopefully you get what you pay for. And that's, we hope that's the case for any situation, but do your homework. Look for testimonials or references. And I think that for me, following Taylor on social media for half a year and seeing so many incredible references, it made me feel so comfortable. So I just did not have a question. I just signed right up.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Because, and I have even on my vision board, I'm looking at it right now, I have a business coach on there. And because of this other situation, when I broke down what the milestones are to get there, it was like research and make a list of 5 coaches. So I'm not just looking at one, like I am looking at a few of them, right? And then I'm watching their social media for a minimum of a few months. Because again, like you said, you want to see how they interact. You want to see, are they, the thing that I really look for is like, you want to see someone living the life that you want to live, and not in like an envious, jealous comparison way. I want to see someone living a life that I can get inspired by, right? So I'm not talking about how they look or what they do or anything like that. I'm just saying on living a life that is like filled with zest, and they seem happy and they seem fulfilled, and they have, family and friends and like things that matter to them, and they're hitting these goals and they're setting them. Like, that's what I'm looking for, right? So I don't want to see someone who's like not in a place where I want to be. Do you know what I mean? So when I'm looking for a coach, like I want someone who's in a place that is at least a few steps ahead of me, to show me the way, right? And so I think that you bring up like a very good point about reading reviews, looking at testimonials, like listening to podcasts like this, where they're talking to clients, and really doing your research. So I'm glad you brought that up. Now, because you've been in coaching for so long, and you've learned so many things, I would be honored if you could take something you have learned and give that takeaway to the listeners. A takeaway of action that they can maybe implement into their lives today. It could be anything you've learned, big or small, but I would love for you to share that.
Yeah, so for me, it is self acceptance. And this also happens to be the theme of this month in Team Quit Quitting. So, my whole life, I always thought that I was really weird and really awkward, especially in professional settings. But really, based on the coaching I received from Taylor, I was given sort of the task to find something that I enjoy talking about. And in a professional setting, just go ahead and bring it up. So, for me, I am really into astrology. And it's just something I've always been interested in. And I found that everybody has a birthday, and most people know what their astrological sign is. Or if they don't know, they seem pretty happy for me to tell them what it is and share with them maybe things that they don't know. And this has led professional even to some really incredible conversations that go well beyond the surface. And if I was the same person that I was a couple of years ago, I would have been terrified to speak about astrology and worried people would think I was strange. But now I have so much more confidence and self acceptance. And it's honestly a gift to believe in myself and know that I am worthy of something I didn't even realize that I've been missing for so long.
Ooh, that's good. Self-acceptance. Yes. And I do remember those conversations very early on in Team Point Quitting. And I mean, even then, but especially as I've gotten to know you over the past few years, I'm like, to know you is to love you. Like, you are so bubbly, and just you have a way of supporting everyone around you that loves you, that you love, right? It's like it's a very mutual relationship, and you show up for people and you show up for yourself. So you are doing big things, and I'm so proud to have you as a client, and I'm so honored to have had you in this membership for so long. And I just want you to know that you are worthy of self-acceptance, and definitely everybody in our community and myself, we love you for who you are.
Oh, thank you so much. And it means so much to me just to hear that from you, someone who I had followed for so long. And then I was like, wait, this is actually for me. I'm getting so much out of it. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, I would love for you to share how listeners can connect with you. Like you've talked about, you show, you traveling a lot, and how they can kind of get a glimpse into your life and what that means for you.
Absolutely. So I don't think I shared what my job is specifically, but I am the director of global events for a software company. And so our clients are Fortune 500, Fortune 100. And so that means I get to travel all around the world, stay in amazing luxury properties, and I provide once in a lifetime experiences for these people. So I have two Instagram accounts. My main one is Lovely Life of Leah. And then my health journey one is Healthy Life of Leah. And I really love making reels, especially during travel.
Yes. And they're so fun. You get to see all these, like, as you know, I say vibey. You get to see all these vibey places, vibey hotels, vibey meal. It's a vibe. And then, you get to see her crushing some goals out there too. And also talking about the hardships of how it is sometimes when you are traveling a lot and trying to hit certain goals when you may not be in your same routine anymore. So you keep it, as much as you say, I keep it real, you keep it real too. So we appreciate that from a viewer perspective.
Oh, thanks.
All right, Leah. Well, this has been so insightful. I am so thankful for all of your feedback and talking about your experience and really giving people that are looking into it some insight into what the TaylorMade Tasty Inc. offers as far as coaching. So, again, she has taken advantage of the Team Quit Quitting monthly membership, one on one coaching, and the vision board parties, which will be announced soon. And so I am very excited that everyone gets to hear your side of it. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. And being on a podcast was actually one of my goals for 2022. So we have a big check for today. So thank you for this opportunity.
I love it. All right, y'all. It is time for the quote of the episode. This quote is from Les Brown. I advise you to say your dream is possible and then overcome all inconveniences. Ignore all the hassles and take a running leap through the hoop, even if it's in flames. Take that into your week, your month, and maybe even your year, and I encourage you to be like Leah and take the leap into some coaching. A great place to start is with her in the monthly membership. You will get community and coaching, best of both worlds. As always, thank you for being here. Thank you for being in my community. I'm so glad you showed up today, and let's go get there. Look at you, crushing it. Thank you for joining me for another episode of the TaylorMade Tasty podcast. My hope is you always leave with a takeaway to implement in your own goal-crushing journey. I would love if you could take a moment to leave a review. And if you're looking for a community of goal boss badasses just like you, be sure to check out TaylorMadeTasty.com/membership.